by myself, not threatening anyone else's lives.
You know, there's a lot of people that have never experienced what you guys got to wake up this morning.
It's impossible to get to.
Hey everybody, this is Kirk with Heat Ranch Warehouse, and I'm here with my co-host AJ, and this is Beyond the Rolls, another episode, and we are proud to announce who we have in Fargo, which we have Todd and Eric all the way, and they're from Epson, so we're excited. It's our newest vendor, and we're very excited about this partnership. And we got these guys to fly out to Fargo, and so that's always a big thing for somebody to come to Fargo, so we're excited. And so guys, you know, what do you think of Fargo so far?
I love it. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I spent 32 years in Buffalo, so this really reminds me of bringing me back to my roots just on the flight in. Maybe a little flatter, less trees than I expected to see, but love being here. Thank you for having us.
Todd?
I thought it was very cool for my first time into Fargo and flying in and just seeing all the snow and all the flat areas and seeing how it's all laid out. It's very different, but very cool. Very, very happy to be here.
So you had one of the cold mornings.
-1 when I woke up this morning on my phone. I screenshotted that. You better believe it.
And of course they closed the restaurant and the hotel, so it was -15 with the wind chill. We had to go run out to go grab a bite to eat last night. Okay, no seat warmers. I was like, I get to pick the rental car next time.
We probably should have done Fargo a little better, though. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Sorry.
Ooh.
The chain, I know.
Yeah.
We should have done Fargo a lot better. So we've already committed one fatal error.
That's
Well,
all right.
next time back, we'll definitely get you some more better fine cuisine. We do have that in Fargo,
Yeah.
so just so people know, kind of like what, you know, we're not going to talk a lot about business, but like basically kind of explain like what's your title, what you're doing with Epson, so they understand a little bit of the background.
Eric Pyges. I am the manager for North America on large format print. I have 1 individual in Canada and 5 here in the United States. I've been with Epson for 14 years, and prior to this, I was at Ascendant doing key account rep. So it's taken me back to my roots by coming back into the LFP community.
Cool.
Todd Radcliffe. I am with Epson for 3 years. I am the channel manager for the Midwest for large format printing products. I work for Eric, obviously. I've been in the business 38 years, since I was actually 19 years old, and started as an old offset commercial printer. But I've been with Epson, like I said, 3 years, 17 years with Fujifilm, and 10 years with Okidata.
So a wealth of experience from these two guys. We're excited you guys out here sharing that information with us, and you know, hopefully getting our brain power back up to it, to learn a lot more about Epson. So just diving in a little bit, obviously I heard, Eric, you live in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes,
A little
that's
bit of
correct.
climate change from Fargo, but also I heard new baby coming with.
Yeah, so in August, we'll have a new addition to my family. Little baby girl on the way. I have a 3.5-year-old son, Roman, now. And yeah, he's at home right now playing with mom in the backyard where, yeah, a little difference in temperature. It's going to be 80 degrees today. But like I said, living 32 years in Buffalo, this brings me back to my roots, so I appreciate it.
Nice.
So Todd, I heard probably a lot of fur babies. Is that correct? You got
Yeah, I have. I'm originally from New York. I grew up on Long Island, and I moved out to Illinois when I was 40. Fuji actually transferred me out, but personally, I have 4 kids, and my youngest will be 19.
Wow.
3 grandkids, and 5 dogs.
Whoa.
It's
So
it's
you
a
have
very.
5 dogs.
I
Yeah,
have
so
5,
I
I have
mean,
5
it's-
dogs. Yeah, so it's
So he's got fur babies, so he's.
I do, yeah. Love them, they're great. And it's, I live right now, I'm in Rockford, Illinois. So I moved about 10 months ago from Chicago to Rockford. So it's much more centralized for me and easier for me to get around.
So I always like to ask the question, like, what do you enjoy to do in your free time?
I'm a
Take
big
the
car
work out.
guy, so I have a GT350 I like to diaper down, if you will, and I don't go to, like, I'm not a car show guy, so I don't take it to coffee and cars or anything like that. I'm just literally get it out on the road and rip on it for a little bit, go by myself, not threatening anyone else's lives. I live up in the foothills of the mountains in Travelers Rest, where if you ever want to buy a vehicle and have some fun on some curvy roads, please come down to the Blue Ridge. We'd love to have you.
Cool.
But that's what I do. I'm a car guy. I used to be a big NASCAR guy until Dale Earnhardt died, so that's really where it all started.
Cool.
Yeah. I like to play golf.
There you go.
Yeah, I was played sports my whole life, but golf is obviously something you can always do. Come springtime, I'm getting ready to grab the sticks and start hitting the balls again. Okay, I'm looking forward to the winter being over, so I can go out there and hit the balls a little bit.
Well, maybe we'll get you out here and you can actually play golf in Fargo.
Yeah.
We do have a course.
Awesome.
But we got a few months before that's going to be open yet, so we got a little feel.
Yeah, so that's fun, and I run races. I'm a runner,
Oh,
so
cool.
half marathons. I've done a couple of triathlons, so I've been doing that. I started doing that in my late 40s just to kind of keep myself healthy and young, and too much time on the road, too much traveling, too much bad food. So, so try to keep yourself in good shape and just to survive.
Right.
Because this business will beat you up when you're out there on the road.
Yeah, I'm a fellow runner myself, and so obviously I look forward to getting you up here when we can run.
I'd love to. Yeah,
We do run outside right now, but unless you have the proper gear, it is not fun. So
I do run outside all year long. So
Yeah.
regardless of the temperature, it's all about the layers.
It's all of the layers and the shoes.
Yep,
so you don't
the
wanna
layers
fall
and
down or
shoes.
anything else.
Yeah.
So back to golf, and let's ask you, like, if you have one course, you say, hey, I can go play one more time again. Which course is that?
Torrey Pines.
Torrey Pines.
Yeah, that would
Torrey
be
Pines out in Cal. I played there a couple of times when I was younger, when I was young and dumb and didn't appreciate what a good golf course was actually like out there playing. And I see it now, you see it on TV and see the hang gliders and the beauty that's out there, and it's just incredible. So,
Very cool.
yeah, if I get an opportunity to play again, that's where I want to go.
I would actually go a little closer to home with you guys here. Not quite this state, but in Wisconsin with Whistling Straits.
Yeah.
So I got to play
yes.
Straits, and that was a phenomenal course being on the lake there. But it definitely was a bucket list item, and we'd go back and do it again in a heartbeat.
Awesome.
So yeah, so growing up on Long Island, I had the opportunity growing up to play Shinnecock, Shinnecock Hills out there, and a lot of really beautiful golf courses out there on the island. So I was a little spoiled when it came to golf. So
Cool.
my dad was a golfer, so it was me and him ran around a lot, played.
Sounds like we'll have to do some golf this summer, right?
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of golf, but I definitely can go out on the course and I can drive a cart. And, I just keep track by how many golf balls I lose. That's how I play. But we definitely could have some fun out there. That's for sure.
To me
We
now,
have to give Kirk those Epson golf balls, so when he loses them, it's free advertising.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
it's to me now it's more about just having fun on the golf course. It's my competitive edge is over,
Right.
So
enjoy the peace and quiet for.
that's it.
4
4 or
hours.
5 hours out
Yeah.
there in the beauty. That's
Yeah.
that's what I enjoy the most about it now. Maybe I'll hit a couple of good shots.
So obviously, guys, you travel, you hit the road a lot. I was asked is like, where is your favorite place? You say, hey, I like going back again and again.
Yeah, it's going to be Los Angeles for me. It's just, for as many years as I've been with the company and going out to corporate headquarters there in Long Beach, and now we're in Los Alamitos, I discover new areas constantly. Definitely coming from the East Coast, the housing, can't afford to live out there, so it's probably another reason why I enjoy going out there and tooling around, because it's just a place that's a lot of fun. And always has nice weather, at least for myself.
My favorite place to go, I actually like to go back to Long Island.
Good.
When I get the opportunity, yeah. I still have family there, and it's beautiful. It's impossible to get to, by car, and unless you fly in, because the traffic's a nightmare, and
Yeah.
all the other reasons why I moved. But it's a beautiful part of the country, and it's interesting that when I moved from Chicago out to Rockford, that's why I moved out there, was because it's very much like where I grew up,
Gotcha.
back on the island. So I was living in cornfields outside of Chicago, and now I'm in the woods, and it's mature and sentimental. I'm getting to be old guy, so I gotta
Right.
So when I go out east again,
thinking about home. I'm the same boat he is. Once you leave, you can't go back. It's just it costs too much money to move back there.
Really?
So yeah, the island, New Jersey, that metropolitan area. I was a sales guy there with Fujifilm for 10 years in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and central New Jersey. Boy, has it changed. It's the landscape. It's still great, and I love the city, but it's I don't want to live there anymore. So,
Hey, by the way, for everyone who's listening today, I would have to say on my flight into Fargo, one thing I missed is all the new build that's happening here. So there's a lot of new buildings on the tour in from our hotel to come into your site today. And Todd and I are like,
Yeah.
that's new, this is new, that's new. So guys, come see Fargo, because it's a best kept secret.
we always like to say Fargo's the best place on earth. So when it's -1, it's a little hard to sell. So, but when we're here, like in the summer, there's a lot more to sell to it. So,
It's wintertime, right?
But
It should be cold.
But people got to experience that
Yeah.
shock. There's a lot of people that have never experienced what you guys got to wake up this morning, walk out to your cab or whatever you took over, that wind and that cold bite. It's
Hey, I
different.
wanted
It's
to be like
different.
a true
That's
Fargo
cutting,
in.
yeah.
I think I did anyways. When I got to the
Yeah.
airport, they said, "Hey, what kind of car would you like today?" And I said, "We have a pickup truck." And he goes, "Absolutely." So I got my choice between an F-150 or 250. So it was
Nice.
great.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Very
is
happy.
pretty good. Only in Fargo can you have that.
I told them next time, though, the heated seats. You know,
Yeah,
that was for this
I failed on
morning.
the heat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Heated seats are they're a premium. That's like the best.
Yeah.
You live here long enough to get heated seats. So
Yep.
obviously, then you go east. I'm going to go out to Long Island and explore a little bit more. So
It's incredible. So I go back a couple of times a year. I mean, then I grew up on the water, so you know, seeing the ocean and being out there, and that's something I really miss. You know, you don't think about it till you leave, right? So
Yeah.
everybody said, "Oh, Lake Michigan's like it's not an ocean." I was like, it's big, it could be, but when you're dealing with the sound and you're on the Atlantic on the South Shore, I go out to Montauk Point every year, it's the east end of the island. It's stunning. It's gorgeous.
something to be said about it, man. So.
Hey, so how about for you guys, for everyone that's watching, where's your favorite destination to get away to?
Ooh.
Oh, I always, I always think about I love the walkability of a city. So I don't like to drive when I get to places. Like I literally either I Uber or I can just walk.
Yes.
And so, some of the funnest, I think back to the trade show days, we really had a lot of fun. Like we went to Indianapolis, Nashville. A lot of those places you can just sit in the downtown, hang out, and there's just always new stuff to find and everything else. So I really enjoy those. My favorite place I'm going to choose, obviously, I am going to go to Fort Lauderdale. I like South Florida.
Yep.
I just go to Fort Lauderdale. I don't like the busyness of Miami. Fort Lauderdale is very chill, and I like to just walk around and we can just go anywhere we want. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a mixture for me. From a trade show perspective, Indianapolis was always a great place just because you could figure out public transportation really quick. So if you wanted to get out a little bit further, you could. But then walkability, you got 10 blocks
Indy's a
this
great
way, 10
city.
blocks that way,
Yeah.
city center and all that kind of stuff. Personal travel, a big fan of like the Caribbean island type areas. I wish I could do that more, but I'm also a big fan of the European countries and kind of getting there and exploring that. Just got back from Ireland and that was fantastic there of
Wow.
actually
That's on
going
my
and
bucket
see
list.
as much as you can. It's
That's
vice versa.
fantastic.
What Kirk just said about driving, I drove myself there, so opposite side of the car, opposite side of the road is kind of
I give you credit. I wouldn't even
different,
try.
but yeah.
That would be terrifying, right?
the whole other mindset you have to think about is okay, everybody's going opposite.
I'm on
Just
this
stick-
side of the car.
Make sure the driver's to the center of the road, right?
Yeah, and then they got these big hedge trimmers, and their hedges are right to the sideline. This big mower, 15 feet in the air, cutting this tree line, and you're driving by that tree line. You don't know what's on the other side of it. Is it a ditch? Is it a solid tree? You don't know. And these people are just regular.
So did you have the manual shift? You had to do it all left?
No, I actually rented an automatic. I rented an automatic, so I'm I know how to manual shift, but I'm not about to try to do all that, trying to figure it out.
Let's try to reverse that in your
So-
brain and
And
see
pay
how
attention to all
well
that.
But you kind of as soon as the first 30 minutes are over, you're got it. You just
This is why it pays to flip the script and ask the question.
Right?
Yeah. So I always like to ask people when they're coming out, is basically what's a win you're celebrating, this quarter, this year, or whatever.
Yeah, actually, closing out what was a successful year because we were dealing with the pandemic that we were in, right? Supply chain was a disaster here for a long time. And we finally have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's almost celebratory to get to this point where we're at in the beginning of 2023 and be, just happy that we have inventory and that we're not choking our channel out. So that's what I'm appreciative for, is closing out a year on the plus side of inventory instead of chasing the inventory.
very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, if I don't have to ever look at an inventory incoming sheet again. Yeah, I would say that's a huge win. To have a full portfolio of products all at the same time that you're able to sell. Sometimes you have A in the pandemic, but you don't have C or you don't have D, and it becomes problematic. And it always seems that people are always asking for the products that you don't have, but they don't want the stuff that you have busted out of your warehouse. Not today, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that's definitely a big thing, and I'm looking forward to 2023. Our year starts April 1, so
Yeah,
for
very cool.
us and especially with our relationship with you guys being new for us, that's a huge win for us.
Very cool.
Not only is the inventory, I think it's all playing out in good timing. We have the products, we have the partnership, and looking forward to see what we can do together.
It's a little known fact, actually, that Epson's owned by Seiko Epson Corporation. So the reality is we work off a Japanese calendar that starts on April 1st. So just for all of our viewers' information, that's where that comes from.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, we like to be weird, don't get me wrong, but that's the reason for April
Complicated,
1st.
yeah, April
That's right.
1st.
Sure, April 1.
April
Well,
Fools.
and follow this, April 1st will be FY24 for us, so even though we're in 2023, it's a fiscal year 24. So there's fun
Sure.
stuff to wrap your head around.
And it's April Fools. So.
And-
There you go.
Yes.
So we don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
Well, just believe us. We live it, right?
Yeah, we live it, right? let's make anything more complicated like the calendar. Like, really, let's make that hard.
Yeah.
So,
I love it. But you know, we just appreciate being up here, guys, because this is a relationship that we're looking really to expand upon. So to have Heat Transfer Warehouse in our corner is a big win. I think they're probably looking at it from an Epson perspective that it's a big win for Heat Transfer Warehouse, but I'll tell you it's a big win for Epson as well.
Yeah.
So just look forward to the moving forward and the synergy we can provide together.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're excited. We love having you guys up here, and you know, obviously always fun to have the first meeting within Fargo. So we definitely we like hosting and hanging out and everything else. And next time, hopefully, we'll get you guys up here a little bit longer.
Yes,
absolutely.
We'll hang out and do that stuff like that. And so I always like to ask give words of wisdom, and what can you say as far as words of wisdom or a quote or anything like that to our viewers that you could they can carry on or look up and.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, one of the things is if you're looking for a professional dealer, that's what you have with Heat Transfer Warehouse here. So whether it's any of the die sub machines that Epson sells, because I would strongly suggest the F170, F570, but you have a professional support staff here that does everything from A to Z. You could buy your blanks, you can buy your Epson machine, they have warehousing. These guys do it all. And I was telling them off camera before we came on what a professional trip this has been because these guys set it up properly. So that's my word of wisdom is keep doing what you're doing because you have a professional organization here and just keep stepping on the gas. We appreciate you guys.
All right, now what's your personal quote for wisdom?
Yeah.
We're gonna get so.
Yeah, so
some
here's
you
my
live by it.
personal quote to
Some you
live
live
by.
by.
Do it right the first time because that will haunt you forever.
Good. Todd?
measure twice, cut once.
I like that one.
That's it.
There's someone that's done a home improvement before.
Yeah, you can tell that's a grandfather right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Where have I heard
it's
that
just,
before?
you know,
A lot.
It's take your time, do it right, don't skip steps, and don't expect to be the best at anything without putting in the work.
You know, I got to do one more though, because Henry Ford said in this one, and it's don't find fault, find a remedy. And it's so well said. It's something that I learned at Ingram Micro when I worked there, and I carry it with me today. So actually, that really should be the word of wisdom.
I like that. I like it. I like it.
So, well, I think that's all we have for you guys really today, right? That's how
Yeah.
we typically end these things, so.
We're gonna make it, short and sweet. I told you it wouldn't be painless. So
It's fine, it's great.
there you go, everybody. Again, welcome to Beyond the Rolls, and we appreciate Todd and Eric being here with us today, hanging out in Fargo, and obviously more to come. Hopefully, we're gonna shoot one of these on site out in California,
Yes.
Yeah.
and we'll have some more fun out there. So stay tuned, everybody, and we'll catch you later.
And short sleeves out in California.